Gene, whose mic is already open, so go for it, Gene. Maybe. All right, we're going to skip Gene, and we're going to go to Gary.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Joe, I'm wondering if I looked at your college and your pro record. Last year, you had more turnovers, but fumbles, recovered, interceptions than your entire college career, and a couple of years before that. Was it scheme? Were just more opportunities there for you? And do you believe that there are players who have a instinctive nose for the football, do you believe you're one of them?
Yeah, it's just a combination. Being in the right place at the right time and taking advantage of the opportunity that when it presents itself. I know in college and a couple of my early years in the NFL, I had a couple balls that I was able to get hands on, and they just kind of squirted through. I remember a slant with Marcus Mariota hit me right in the hands, dropped it, and a fumble recovery against the Washington Redskins that somehow just leaked out. So you got to take advantage of those opportunities when they come your way, because NFL quarterbacks aren't giving them out like candy. So. And then last year I was able to do that, take advantage of it, put myself in the right spot, and a lot of that putting yourself in the right spot comes with study in the game week.
And do you feel like this scheme sets you up with a good opportunity to make a lot of plays?
Yeah, I like Coach Wash's scheme. I obviously just my first couple weeks in it with not having an off season, but I just feel the way that me and Miles are able to play as the linebackers, the way the scheme is set up. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for us to run around the field, make a lot of plays on the ball, and have a good time doing it.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary. We're going to go over to Hayes and then over to Mark.
Hey, Joe, I'm curious. You've done such a magnificent job of creating turnovers. I'm curious, and they've come off of Minshew. Does Gardner come and ask you afterwards about anything that he did to sort of tip you off? Does he kind of use those opportunities to sort of pick your brain and get better?
Yeah, a few times he'll come up, like not even when he does turnovers, just after practice in general. If there's a look that we're giving him and he doesn't quite understand what we're looking for, he'll come up and ask like what our thought process is in that certain look versus what they were doing. So he's definitely been eager to learn in those situations and doesn't take it as a negative. He tries to learn from it and turn it into a positive. So it's been good to see.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, Hayes. Let's go to Mark. And then we'll try Gene again.
Hey, Joe. Having been a guy who played through 0-16, there's so much talk about tanking in this franchise. You're in that locker room, you're on that field. Can you just see the difference between what the talent you have here and the talent maybe you guys had in Cleveland back then?
Yeah, it's a different team, different situation, a lot of different players. And since I've been in the locker room, it's been a different time frame just with the COVID and the masks and the plexiglass barrier separating your locker from the next guy over. So the overall team camaraderie once you're in the locker room has been great for in my experience. And then just being out on the practice field, just the way Coach Gruden has those guys on offense work and the way we are doing things on defense. It's just a competitive atmosphere, and obviously it's been a kind of a fast-tracked training camp, and the season's right around the corner. I'm really excited to see how we're able to go out and perform on the field on Sundays.
Do you get a sense that you guys can kind of thrive off of some of that, like underdog mentality, maybe that people are counting you out already before you've even played it down?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys on our team that thrive off of that mentality in the NFL. Everybody got here. Everybody deserves to be here who is here. And when you are slighted in terms of preseason expectations or what people think of you, that puts a chip on your shoulder. And as competitive individuals, you want to prove everybody wrong. So that's definitely something that we'll be able to take and use to our advantage, I think.
Thanks, Mark. Let's go over to Gene again, and then Demetrius.
Joe, can you hear me, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. Just curious as to what you think about what you've seen from Nate Evans, the undrafted rookie linebacker. Does it look like he grasped the defense, all the calls, the transition into the NFL, and how would you assess his progress?
Yeah, and Nate's first off, he's a great kid. He comes in ready to work and learn every day. And I think the rookies this year have been at a huge learning disadvantage compared to rookies in the past with no actual on-field work, no rookie minicamp, no minicamp in the offseason, and a shortened training camp. But I've been impressed by him and Shaq, how they came in and worked and understood the defense. And even at this point, even with some veterans, like the calls start to stack up when you put your whole playbook in at once and every single call is up and running. And he's been able to do a good job staying on top of his thing. Obviously, there's mistakes that are made, but you can learn from it. And he's shown what he's shown is like when you get to game plan week, when the playbook gets tampered down a little bit, he's going to be ready to go if he's needed.
Thanks.
All right, let's jump over to Demetrius.
Hey, Joe, I hope you're doing well. Have you sort of been surprised by how well the team or the defense has been able to communicate this season or this training camp? You guys haven't had a off-season, really. You haven't been around each other a whole lot of time. Have you been surprised by the communication and sort of lack of sloppiness, I guess I should say?
Yeah. I mean, coming from Cleveland, I had 3 defensive coordinators in 4 years, and so there's a lot of turnover and a lot of player turnover. So the communication was something we always struggled with there. I think coming into this system, a system that's been around for a while, have guys who have played it for a while in the front end and the back end and the defensive line and in linebacker. It's been great just to be able to communicate out there. Miles, before every play, is talking just our little checks that we have as the backers. The safety communication's been great, and it's just nice to be able to hear it loud and clear. I mean, that puts an emphasis on, or allows us to make less mistakes because we're all on the same page. Even if we're all wrong, even if we have the wrong call and we make it loud, you're going to be all right because everybody's on the same page.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Does anyone else have a question? Otherwise, it looks like that is the last one in the queue, so we could be quick. All right, Joe, you're off the hook.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Your time. Thanks, everyone.